What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development livestream where we're working on our Gas Course project, an action game built from scratch, of course, using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, and the Gameplay Ability System plugin. So, this week, and obviously today, we're going to start putting together our first melee combo string. So right now we have some animations from the marketplace that I've been playing around with. And importing and things like that. So I want to see if I can create like a simple combo string. We're going to need to use I would like to use a chooser table to basically map an animation to a tag. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Thanks for popping in. How you doing? So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with we'll start with getting the animations together that we want to do for this combo string, because obviously we have this, this one example, but it's like a kind of a simple example. But it should come with a string of options, but I forget where it's from, if I'm gonna be honest. So we're gonna have to look. So it's called this. So there should be like a duplicate somewhere. Yeah, so let's open you. Folder view. Okay, so we're in here. So there's sequence 12. So I'm assuming 13 would be the correct thing to do next. So he goes like, he goes like that, and then does like a leap punch thing. So the combo stuff is going decently well. I was able to kind of unify what I'm trying to accomplish. So I have an ability, I can construct melee ability data, and then basically grant and activate the melee ability at runtime through the state tree through input. So right now, it's still playing the same ability, but in the top left corner, it's printing volley, and then ability, and then volley. So that's more or less proving the combo. So obviously we're going to keep creating combos, creating transitions into each other. So should hopefully work. We just need to get animations together. So yeah, that's one attack, that's two attack. Like I just gotta find a sequence that looks okay. Maybe like a 3 or 4 hit combo, because we have 12. And then that's like a punch for some reason. And then like a shoulder bash. So like that's a good starting or ending of a melee combo, but I gotta find like, the other two. I'm still working on the CMC this week, but hopefully we'll get to melee soon. Nice. So that's like a shield bash. So it's like a pierce. Maybe something like this. So yeah, that's the first combo string here. Then there's this. So let's assume we want to use this. Yesterday I was watching your stream on Mover to see your experiences with it. Oh, my experiences with Mover are very low and little at all. I'm hoping in 5.6 Mover will be a little bit better, but from my understanding it's still very experimental, so I don't really want to get into it. Alright, so let's retarget our animation here. Let's see if we can get a 2-string melee combo going. We're going to export, and we're going to put you in Gas Course game. And then character, animations, and melee. So export that, and then I'm just going to open it and Yeah, so it doesn't seem like it maps too good with the hand here. So I wonder... Okay, I know what I was doing. I'm doing something stupid. So we actually want to do this one, I think. So let's try this again. Retarget. No, not you. Where's the alpha male? This is the UE5 skeleton. There we go, export. Now we gotta do the same directory. I wish it would save the directories that you were doing. Export, save, and we can get rid of you. Yeah, it seems too experimental yet. Will be a good solution, but I'll wait. It gets more mature. Yeah, for sure. Like, we just gotta be patient. Okay. What did I do? Am I going crazy? So attack. This is attack 2, right? So we have this attack. It does UE5. Ah! So I want to do two-handed. This is one-handed. So yeah, there's... Okay, so this is... Am I crazy? Let's try this again. I don't like how the arm is retargeting with this thing. Let's just put it here and we'll... Been a bit of those thoughts. Is this gas or CMC this week? Yeah, true. Yeah, so the left hand doesn't really target the best. But for now, let's just accept it for what it is, you know. Can I delete these without getting yelled at? Okay, great. So here's the second attack. So let's create a montage from it. Move that. Montages, or animations, I should say. And now I want to have a chooser. And is it under miscellaneous? Chooser table, yes. Chooser type, animation chooser, anim class, montage. And we'll say CT for chooser table. And then melee combo. Then, so result type, object of type, totally fine. Parameters, class parameter. You want it to be output, and then the struct parameter. Chooser player settings. I think I could just do like the melee data as the input. I think. Let's see. So add row. We'll do asset soft reference, add column, gameplay tag. So the problem, I think, is gameplay tag. It's a gameplay tags mapping. And my parameter is just a simple gameplay tag. So you didn't need mover for GASP porting. I don't know what GASP stands for, but also, yeah, I don't know if it's referring to at all to network or anything. But I stopped my game from being multiplayer a while ago. Oh, game animation sample project. Ah, okay. So you didn't need mover for the porting? No, I didn't. No. I just kind of copied things over and recreated the stuff. And, this is the end result locomotion, But I'm not sure if I'll stick with it. We'll see. There's a lot of problems that I need to solve eventually. But, one thing at a time. So I think what I need to do, I need to go into my melee ability and change my struct. To take in a gameplay tag container. I also think I need to turn on my streaming lights. I don't know how well they're going to show up, but yeah. I wanted to use it, but I'm aiming for toon characters. Not sure if it may fit well. I don't think it will. Like, you're going to have, like, toony characters parkouring and, jogging and running realistically. I think it's best to, like, just do a blend space if possible. If you have the capacity to get a bunch of animations, then go ahead and use what are those assets called? Motion matching and stuff like that. So just choose your battles wisely, I guess. So we're gonna change this to an FFplate gameplay tag container. Now that I changed it to a container, I don't think I need to change anything, honestly. I just gotta recompile. Because, like, blend spaces get the job done. And motion matching. It serves a purpose, I would say, for, like, I don't know. It's just for fidelity and general quality of animation and blending and stuff like that, but you need hundreds of animations to get up to that quality. And I think on the gameplay animation example, it gives two examples, one for like high quality and one for low quality that has less animations and stuff. And I think Fortnite uses that tech so that, like, on lower settings, there's less data to parse through, so it's a little more performant. So yeah, once I'm able to get the chooser table set up, I should be able to simply just use the chooser table, pass in a tag, and that tag is passed in through the state tree so that each combo step is giving it a different tag. So it's saying, do melee combo 1, do melee combo 2, etc. So I would want to try at the very least to get like a 3-hit combo going. And I also want to try to do a heavy melee attack, like a hold, because there's a pretty cool example animation that's provided with one of the things I bought from the marketplace. So we'll see how far we take this thing. Okay. So now that we have... is there some problems here? Compile error on test examples melee base. That's fine because of the whole change that we just made here. Not a big deal. Should be able to fix that relatively quickly. But now, in theory, let's see if this even worked. We should be able to now go use our melee data here and use melee gameplay ability tag. Let's go into our combo. Let us create a new tag hierarchy. So I want to say, I'll say gameplay dot, or is there an animation? I'll say gameplay.animation.melee dot combo, or I'll just say melee.light.01, and then I'll put a new tag for 02. So we got that going for us. So now I should be able to say here, like light 01. Expand this a little bit. I should be able to pass in this attack. And then add another row. And then I should be able to do light 02. Like that. Now I should, hopefully, I should be able to say something to the lines of chooser. So we evaluate chooser, pass in our melee combo. So yeah, the animation montage is still input, which is bizarre. Table settings. Maybe this is not necessary. Hopefully something like this will be okay. We can recombine this, pass this along here. And I should be able to hopefully print this. So yeah, choosers, it's a plugin that you can download. It's experimental. I think it's still labeled as experimental. No, it's on version 1.0. There is an Anim Next chooser, and the Anim Next is a whole other thing that they're trying to push. I don't know much about it just yet, but we're going to be using it soon. Not for this project, for work. But yeah, choosers are just, it's a robust way of, it's like a data table, except you can kind of query that data in more robust ways. So you can have a chooser table of, for example, animations, and based on their input conditions, so like a struct, you could tell it which animation to play. And that's what they use for the game animation project sample. But you can use it for melee combos. You can use it for, you know, potentially spawning hit reactions and stuff, using, you know, data from the hit, being like, okay, I need to play this hit reaction because of this input data. You don't have to do animations. You can also tell it to spit out Niagara systems or audio or anything like that. Pretty cool. So ideally, the results of what I just did should at least print the right animation, and it does. So now, I should be able to promote this to a variable and call it melee montage. And pass melee montage into this play and wait. So I can't. Why? So animation asset object. All right, so I have to cast it to melee montage. Oh, object type. So melee, not melee, montage. That should be what we want. There we go. Melee montage. If I can spell. Interesting. I thought it was exclusive to animation sample. No, well, maybe originally it was, but it's just a plugin you can enable. So now I should play two different animations. There we go. So boom, boom, boom. And now I gotta set up motion warping and all of these same notifies to get similar stuff. So I'm gonna quickly do that. And we can paste like that, and we get all the stuff. One thing that would be really cool is if you can create like templates and stuff for like animations, because you know when you're working with Melee, you know you'll want to have a certain set of notifies. So being able to kind of copy and paste like a template with explicit notifies and stuff would be really nice. I don't know if you can do that easily, but something to look at later. Now let's set up all our animation properties. So we get 0.15. And this is all based off feeling. No rhyme or reason, really. So we can look at this one, and we're gonna go like boom. So we probably want to blend out somewhere around here with movement. The attack comes out right about here. So looks good to me. And then the trail should start maybe around there. Go like that, maybe about here. And then yeah, rotation warping. All the way down until there. Melee warping. Or not melee warping, translation warping. Probably take place about here. Up until there. And we're just gonna copy these names. Oops. And we have input buffering as well set up. I'm glad, like we did a huge refactor of that, and now with our input buffer, we have this array that you can put in for input actions, and you could just buffer them automatically. I like the idea of using state trees for combo, but I still didn't get the picture on how it manages gas and inputs all together there. Give me a second to wrap up what I'm doing, and I can try to explain it. Because I did some things off stream. For the sake of brevity, to kind of push the project forward. So sometimes when I'm streaming, I don't do as much as I'd like, just because it's hard to think and talk at the same time. So, just to prove everything is working, let us double check. So we have 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we have a combo working. Again, the animation's not as great. Like maybe this is actually like heavy attacks. Because it feels like a heavy attack, you know what I mean? Besides the point. So let's talk about the state tree. So what we're doing, hey Warka, what you working on? We're working on just a fun little side project. We're currently working on melee combos and getting melee combat up to snuff. So what I'm going to do is break down what I'm doing within this state tree and how it connects enhanced input and how it connects to GAS, gameplay ability system. So what I'm doing, hopefully the music is not too loud, but I'm going to talk through it. So the first thing to do, we have a global task, and maybe you guys can't see it too well with the current scaling, so I'll scale it up for just a moment. We have this task over here on the left that listens to enhanced input actions, and based on whether it's triggered, completed, or canceled, we send a state tree event to the state tree. So every time I press right bumper, which is my light attack input, we're sending a state tree event. So just to make things even more clear, hopefully, maximize. On my other monitor here, I'm going to be playing the game, but what you guys will see is the debugger. So right now, I'm going to press right bumper, and you're going to see melee combo 0, and then back to idle. Then melee combo 0, and then melee combo 1, melee 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and then back to idle. So what's happening is with this, because of the transitions that I have, I have idle so that the tree has something to sit in, and then every time I enter a state, so melee combo 0, I'm then running this task called grant and activate melee ability. And what is this gonna open? There we go. And let me open up that task. And what this task does, and I'll just again zoom in a little bit. Hopefully this will be readable. Yeah, so it's all tag-based, it's all event-based. So what happens is when I enter the state for the ability, I create a melee gameplay ability object. And with that object, I instantiate its melee data, which is a custom structure, which you see here. I'm kind of blocking it on this right-hand side. And it contains whatever data that I need it to be. So for now, I'm just worried about an animation tag. Then I'm going to do warp distances and my warp target names and stuff like that. Just any data that the melee needs in order to work. So basically, I construct this fake ability object. And then what I do is, with that ability object, when I enter it, I then create I grant this. So basically, I take the object and I use it as the source object for when I'm constructing and granting and activating this ability. So in my melee ability, when I have this on give ability, what I do is here I check if my source object is valid, and if it is, I copy that data over. So essentially, whatever data is found here is then constructed into the actual ability that I'm granting and activating once. But a potential bug I see at this moment when reviewing it now is I'm not deleting the melee ability ref. So maybe I need to mark it as dirty or something, just so it gets garbage collected. Maybe I just have to mark it as garbage. So yes, it keeps listening for inputs inside of the state tree because it's a global task. So as long as this state tree is running, it's going to be listening for these inputs. And I can pull up this listener. So it's not the most elegant thing in the world, but basically whichever inputs are listed in this array, I have lambdas that are listening for their triggered, their canceled, and their completed events, and then sending the state tree this tag event. And then in my transitions, I'm listening for this event and then telling it go from 0 to combo 0 to combo 1, and then from combo 1 back to 0. And if the state just completes, it resets back to idle. So hopefully, I gotta fix the UI scale. So hopefully that made sense. Because now we have a melee combo. Now it's kind of slow, and we do get some funky spins on the second one. So we're gonna have to see why. I think it's because of that. Yeah, it's a nice approach. Congratulations. I mean, very customizable. Thanks. Not sure why. It does that. I'd like to try how it performs with multiplayer, but I think it shouldn't be a problem with gas. Maybe. Yeah, at this point I kind of gave up on the whole multiplayer aspect. Okay, so that's fixed now. And the reason why I did it this way is it's because how we're, it's not my first time setting something up like this. But it's my first time setting up something like this all by myself. So now we have a basic 2-hit combo. What I'd like to see, though, is let's see if I can make it. Now I should be able to pretty quickly make this like a 3-hit combo. So, fuck it, why not? We'll do it this one. Let's retarget. Grab the name here. Give it elf. Mail, export. Let's just put it in gas course for now. I just want to see what it looks like. Yeah, like the hand is all messed up. But I'll accept it for now. So let's put you here. Create a montage. Move you here. Add a chooser. Now I should be able to make a new tag. put in this new animation. Like that, and then I can go into my state tree. Let's rename these appropriately. Starting at 0 doesn't really make sense. So now I should be able to say, okay, for melee combo 2, if light attack is triggered, we can go to 3. And then when we go to 3, we go back to 1. Now I should have a 3-hit combo. Which I don't. And the reason why I don't is because I forgot to tell it to use the light attack. 3. So 1, 2, still wrong. Uh-oh. Let's find out. So we go to melee combo 1, then we go to combo 2, then we go to combo 3. Okay. Because it's a gameplay tag container, it accepted both tags, and I guess it's hierarchical. So, 5th time is the charm? Yes. So 1, 2, 3. Now I should be able to, again, kind of copy all these notifies. Paste them in. Go like boom, and that's a good blend out, so we can go. Maybe just a little bit there. And we can probably do a lot with this trail. So we can start it maybe about here. So we'll move and swing, and then we'll go like, whoops. We'll go about here. We also got to fix our input buffer window, I think. So we want to go like that, and then yeah, come out maybe that was right. So let's open up the buffer about halfway, so 50%. Let's change you to 50% as well. Of course, yeah, you 50%. Go set up our blendings. And we got ourselves a bot. Let's ban your ass. See you later. So we should have a basic 3-hit combo now. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now, you know, we got a good thing going, I think. So I want to see if I can set up like a heavy hold. So we're going to try something like that, I think, next. I had planned to use state trees only for AI, but if I can integrate my inventory with it, maybe it'd be a good approach. I mean, like, only apply certain combo if certain weapon is equipped. Yeah, because, like, what you could do is, and this is what maybe I would think of doing, but basically each weapon has a state tree attached with it. And so every time the state tree, or every time the weapon is equipped, you can override the state tree with tags. Basically, you can say, okay, override your melee combo state tree with this weapon state tree. And within that weapon state tree, you have the same kind of setup and whatever number of combos that you potentially would want. So it's definitely viable. Okay, so I want to find... There is an example hold I want to try to get working. There's the sword animations, and then there's attacks. It has different combos and stuff like that. Maybe I can use these as well. We'll see. Because it has like some cool moves. So we could try putting together a few different combos to see what's up. There's also this wave. Yeah, maybe that could be like a basic light attack combo. But yeah, I think this is the power attack. And then it goes like that. And then it goes like this. So I think it would be cool to get this kind of example working. So when I say tag-based, what I mean is, I believe it's in my player controller. Let's see. So when I say tag-based, what state trees have this option to say linked state tree overrides. And what you can do is have a tag that says like, you know, melee.sword.01 and then have a state tree linked here. And then what you can do is, I believe it's called override, or what's the options I have? I always forget. Should be an option, I believe. Or maybe at the set a state tree event or something like that. But yeah, there's a way that you can link them. So that's how I would imagine doing it. I can't remember how to properly set that up, but I think that's a possible way to go. So let's go ahead and we're gonna need to, because I want to make this melee attack, this hold charge thing. So let me retarget some animations. I wonder if I can do like, oh no, what happened? Okay. So maybe I need to do, we'll do this one. So let's just see what the results are of this one. I want to see if the hands are messed up. So export. We'll just put it into gas course just to see it. Looks okay. Let's try this one. Still looks good. And then, yeah, the crazy ass end. So let's see what this looks like. So bam, 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 bam. Cool. So let's save these. Let's move them into our melee stuff. Now we're gonna need to make a montage. Move the montage here. Now we need to add the rest of the animations here. The loop. And end. And then what we can do is basically set the, we gotta basically create sections. So a new montage section, we're gonna say loop. And here we're gonna say end. We can just make sure they snap to the right position. Like that. Now we should be able to say loop and then end. So it should work as we'd expect. So we go like this, and then it just loops. And then we need to tell it through blueprints to go to the end when we release the input, for example. So let's see what we have to do. Hey, thanks for the follow, Steven. If that's the name I'm reading correctly, much appreciated. How you doing? Thanks for popping in. So what I think I need to do, I have a melee base. I think I need to make a child. So melee hold. And what's the best way to do this? I would need to refactor this ability so that it's properly, it can be correctly parented and everything like that. So I think what I need to do is kind of copy this. And then I need to say wait input release. Test if it's already released, and then if it's released, I don't think I need to do any. Maybe I would have to do some warping, or it could be something in place. For now, let's just see what it looks like when it's in place. So I would just need to call play montage. Well, actually, no, I need to do this. So, play montage and wait. And yeah, I need to pass in this. And then I need to say jump montage section. Jump it to end. And then like on completed, we say end ability. This is a very basic setup. We're gonna take baby steps with this. What I believe I need to do now is I have a light attack and a heavy attack, but I need to make heavy attack hold. We need to add it to our... First we'll just do gamepad. not what I wanted to do. So we'll say heavy hold. And we want it to be right trigger. And we want to say hold. Hold time threshold. We'll say 0.2 is one shot. I don't remember if we need this or not. But now I should be able to go into my state tree, add an entry for this array, say melee hold. When it's triggered, I want to say state tree.melee, and I'll say heavy.hold.triggered. Now I should be able to say, let's make a new state. So add new state, child state. We're going to say melee heavy hold. We're going to add a transition, at least from idle for now. We're going to say go to melee heavy hold. Performance-wise, it's okay to keep listening for inputs there. Yes, of course. It's just waiting for input events and broadcasting that out. It's not doing anything kind of crazy, so it should be fine. And so the event we're waiting for here is this triggered one. Hopefully I'll be able to copy that. And then here, we're going to say tasks, grant and activate melee ability. And we're going to say hold. And then we need to go into our chooser, add a new row. We're going to say melee dot, and we'll say heavy dot hold. We're going to put in this animation. And then in our state tree, we're going to tell it to do hold. And I think that's it. F's in the chat if you think I'm going to get this right the first time. Moment of truth. Okay. Something played. So I believe the issue is with this hold. Maybe it has to be one shot because it seems like this gets called immediately. Yeah. Now I wonder, maybe because it's not really directly linked. Let's see. If I were to just make this down, for example, does it automatically play as well? Yeah. I'm trying to think what could be wrong. So wham, wham. Yeah, I don't think that Boolean makes a difference. Oh, it does. Okay. And now I'm stuck here. Okay. So let's do a hold. We'll leave it at 1 second for now just to see what happens. Yeah, so releasing doesn't really make a difference here. And we also need to, just so we don't forget, we got to enable root motion on all of these, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I believe the problem can be that it's not directly told which input to kind of listen to, and I forget where we're doing that in code, because I think it's in definitely in the player character somewhere. The player character, we're binding ability actions. So I would need to somehow set something similar up, maybe? Not sure how best to figure that out. Hello, bro. What's up, man? How's it going? What do I want to do? Notice that my lighting is not the greatest. But you guys will deal with it, I suppose. Yeah, but now I'm stuck. Like I can't. I'm not exiting the state tree correctly, so something breaks. But let's see. How do I want to handle this? Because I think a hacky possible solution here is I can have like an idle and then I can have a release state and I can have a task. I would have to make it, I guess, to send a gameplay event. So I could say, you know, transition to release when we have the event for completed. Hopefully that will work. So we would get to here, but then I would need to make, whoops. Yeah, I would have to make a custom task here. Let me just go to this thing here. Let me say PP send gameplay event. Let's go to class settings. We're going to say send gameplay event. And then I need to, I really just need, so context, no, what's the type here? It's actor, yeah. Owning actor. So do you need to notify the transition back to root if a button wasn't pressed inside time window? No. It really just depends on how we want to set this up, but essentially, like, if we let the animation play or get interrupted, the ability ending will just naturally just cause the state to exit. At least I think so. Maybe not. We'd have to see. Let me just put in actor real quick. Context. I just want to see what the state tree looks like, or this task looks like. No, whoops. Where are you? Place with gameplay event, yeah, actor. So I should be able to say my evaluator, get my pawn, for example. Now I should be able to say send gameplay event to actor. We can literally say, finish task. And we can say event tag, reload. These under parameters. Now I should be able to go into the state tree, basically say, hey, you got to this event, let's make an event here. So we'll say event, gameplay, and then we'll say, or should I say event dot input dot melee dot hold or heavy dot hold dot released. So I should be able to send that event, and then here I could just say wait gameplay event. Only trigger once, and we'll say hold dot released. And event received should get to here. And I'm hoping that works. Okay. It doesn't. That's okay. Hold on, It's very rare that things work the first time. Okay. Let's debug the state tree. I don't know if that's still doing open. I'm going to play on the other monitor here. So I go to here. And then I let go, nothing happens. So let's see. So I'm in hold, then idle. So I'm definitely putting this transition in the wrong spot. I think it should be here. Try again. I'm here. Okay, at the very least, I let go. It's resetting. And I think, oops. Now, is it because it's not a one-shot? Okay, that doesn't really work. So what's happening right now, I think I'm doing like a very hacky solution to try to get something to work. It's not listening, like currently it's not waiting for for gas events. It's sending one. I'm just trying to kind of rebound the state tree input event into the ability, which I shouldn't have to do. I need to figure out something else. I'm just trying to get it to work, just for the sake of an example. And just to make sure I'm not crazy, I'm gonna just put a breakpoint here. Okay, so I hit the breakpoint. Now, I believe the problem is the fact that this task. So I need to do on-state completed. I need to go back to maybe idle. Okay. Now, let me put everything back into one window here for everybody. I need to say, because they have one shot, it completes automatically. Okay, there we go. So that works. But yeah, maybe I need to make like a gameplay, maybe a gameplay ability task that listens to input events as well, just so I can have it listen. But yeah, we basically got it working. So we go, and then boom, 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 boom. But now what we can, again, I don't know if this will be the best way to do it, but for the sake of trying to get something cool, maybe I can basically fake hits, because it makes sense not to really draw traces in this part. So I could say, attack, damage events, and basically goes like, wham. We can say something along the lines of this. Do I have a notify for this? Yes, send gameplay event to self. So like the light combo, does it auto transition back to root if you do 2 instead of 3 attacks? It should. We can look. So 1, 2. Yeah, the debugger's not really showing anything. Hold on. So 1, 2. Back to idle. 1. Back to idle. Do the heavy hold. I'm in idle. I get to release. Back to idle. So now the concern is like, how well do I want to be able to blend into the heavy attack? Because right now the problem is I attack, I'm holding, and then only when it returns to root does it actually execute that. So we would potentially need to have, and what we could maybe do is add transitions. And I don't know if it needs to be, like, for example, let me make a child, and we'll say, not child, a sibling of the idol here. I could say, like, light attack, or melee, light attack combo. And then make these children of this. Oops. And I can just say idle can transition into melee light attack combo. And then light attack combo. Hopefully I should be able to just copy this trigger, this transition. And it'll go into the heavy. So we can try that out as well. Let's see if we broke anything. So we're still doing that. Now I'm holding and it interrupts. But yeah, it breaks the state tree, so we gotta investigate. So Michael from YouTube is asking what class is that? I'm assuming you're talking about this, and this is a state tree. Let's debug what's going on with the state tree. So if I press attack and then hold, okay, what? That worked. But yeah. I'm in idle, but the animation didn't play. Which is interesting. You've never seen it? It's relatively new. They've been slowly rolling it out in the latest versions. We use it at work, and I'm using it for melee combos here. It's just a state machine. It's new, more or less, but you know, they're still working on it. So yeah, something strange is going on. We're gonna have to debug this later. So I think the rule that brings me back to idle is just, I think, a natural transition that occurs. That when a state ends, it'll naturally just go back to root, and then when you go to root idle is the first place that's here, and it just kind of waits and doesn't do anything. So like that looks good, but it's just not consistently working. Like I get to that point, and then I get stuck. So the only thing it's dependent on is the ability ending, I believe. I can't remember if that's how I implemented it. Yeah, so here I have the AAC on ability end. It calls this and then it says, okay, the melee ability is no longer active, and then on tick it just says it's succeeded. But yeah, something strange is going on that I'll need to try to debug. It's like when I interrupt it, trying to think what's happening. Kind of just breaks itself. But it's only sometimes, you know? So, like I do this, and then I hold, I'm good. I do this, I hold, it's good. Yeah, so at some point when I'm interrupting it, it just it doesn't work out. But for now, you know, we'll save that for maybe some other day this week. What I want to do is try to do some damage. So I'm going to say event.animation.combat, and I'm going to say melee damage. And I'm going to send this event multiple times. So I'm going to go like this. So first event, and then second event. Third event. It's not the cleanest thing. Fourth event. Oops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. 6. Where's the 6th attack? Right. So I'm sending all these things. Now I should be able to listen for this as well. So melee.damage. And I should be able to make a custom event, so make a custom event. So animation, gameplay events. So we're gonna take in a gameplay tag, call it event tag. We don't need really anything for the event data actually, so let's just do that. And so on event received, we're gonna call animation gameplay events, pass in the tag. Now we know what it is. We don't know if it's gonna be multiple different types of tags at some later point, but let's just assume it's not gonna be. But anyway, we just say melee.damage. And then what I can do is I think I have a targeting thing already for explode. So DT targeting explode on death. Let's just copy this. We're gonna say DT melee hold targeting preset. Now we need to do this preset. We're going to be doing, I guess a sphere is okay. Sphere encapsule the radius. For now, let's just make it 1,000. Just have a number. That should all be okay. We just need to update this query as well. So you out. So now what I should be able to do, and I don't know if this is going to be very performant. If I've seen your stream where you implement the stack for gas. Very helpful. Thanks. No problem. I'm glad you found it useful. It's much appreciated. Glad to help. So let's get our targeting subsystem. Let us get I guess it's request, right? Execute targeting request. Request this thing. Or I thought there was something else here. So execute targeting request, or let me go into Melee base real quick. Find target, and I do perform targeting request. Okay, let's do that. So we don't really need a reference to that. Got that. We don't want, I don't know if we want to allow async or not. Maybe it's okay. Let's see. So whenever it's ready, we need to, is there like an actors? Now this is where we need the targeting subsystem. Get targeting result actors, target handle. And now I want to say, so in Melee base, we're applying damage here. So apply damage to target handle. So apply damage to target data handle. Is there a way to convert a handle with an array? Yes. Ability to target from actor array. Do something like that. There's targeting results. And these are hit arrays. I might need to make a custom function. Like apply damage to target and then target data handle. So I think I need to potentially make a better function than this because I don't think, well, let's find out. So instigator is should be able to get the owning actor. Damage, we'll say 10. Damage context, hit result. This is where we might need to do something better. But this should hopefully do something. So fingers crossed. So we're gonna do this. And yeah, nothing happened. If I don't make this async, do I get anything different? Maybe I could say one target per handle. Let's see. Not sure if I was not close enough. Okay. Still nothing. Let's see. Do we even get to this? Okay, we do. Now we get to here, I assume. So yeah, we're not getting any actors. Now, the radius, all that, filter. Let's just take out that. Let's just make sure nothing is. Okay, that worked. Now can I put allow async? Does that still cause a problem? So we got something. And, you know, again, we can then add a bunch of flavor here. I don't like the fact that we'll need to be doing an array of stuff, but maybe it's okay for now. Like, I probably would want to move this to C++. But let's see what this looks like in a case where, you know, we have multiple targets, right? So say I'm in this instance, I go like this, and then you do like that, right? So we managed them all, but man, the camera doesn't do us any favors. Is this targeting system reliable or still experimental? I find it pretty reliable. It works pretty good. Oh. I use it quite often. I made some extensions to it. For example, I can, you know, when I'm targeting, I can kind of do these kind of things where I'm showing what I'm targeting. I have custom filters and sorts, so it takes in consideration things like my input direction, distance, and stuff like that. And just nice debugs for them. So bam, bam. Oh, breaks. Don't know why it breaks, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, it works pretty reliably well. So for example, let me add a UI shake on each hit. And let me make, I don't know if I'll need to do a hit stop, but let's try. Because hit stop might make it feel too slow. I also need to send a hit reaction. And I also need to do this. Which is a bunch of additional effects and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe I just need to do like, you know, I gotta make sure I send hit events and stuff like that. So I'm just for the sake of trying stuff out, we could say for each. I might have to make a custom function to send it to multiple targets, so it's done in C++. But for now, let's just do it like this. Yeah, I don't want to. I do want to send impacts and stuff, like VFXs and stuff, but not to every single, like to every target. I want that to be true, but camera shake and force feedback stuff might need to be done once per tick, I suppose is the way to say it. So just for the sake of trying something again, we should be able to say client camera shake. There shouldn't be too many. So yeah, impact base for now is fine. And then there should be force feedback. If I can spell. Not many, there's only just the one. You guys won't be able to tell anything. So let's see if we see any improvements to the feel. That kind of looked cool with the hit stops. Not gonna lie. But yeah, maybe it's too much. It is supposed to feel like a fast attack. Feel like that. And maybe, yeah, the distance is too much too. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't like how the camera follows. Definitely the UI shake is too much. I feel like it should just be like one like woof, woof, woof kind of thing. Maybe for the last one, it makes sense for it to come down like that, like and shake. And probably there should be some VFX. Because yeah, right now that distance is a little too far. And I wonder if I should be kind of getting the targets at the beginning, and then when I release, store those targets, and then only affect those targets. A lot of questions to ask. So we definitely want to, yeah, lower the camera shake. Definitely needs the stamina cost for this thing. Let's see what's next. So, also for safety, let's see, on state completed. Let's go back to idle. Try rename this one, call it, you know, heavy hold idle. So we gotta basically figure out what happens to this state tree where can you use these combos in air? I don't know if I want to have air combat, but in theory, like you can, like, because I also have this ability where you can jump. I could just hold it and then just do something like this. I would just have to like turn off gravity or something while you're doing it, or set your flying mode. So maybe. But yeah, I gotta figure out why these transitions are like not very good. Because like maybe it shouldn't be here. Maybe the transition needs to be on each. Which is kind of annoying. That would need to be the case, but let's see. So we go like that, and then, yeah, still breaks. So let's see. So I get here, and then I'm here, and then I let go. It works fine and dandy. Yeah, so we basically are here. But the ability isn't activated. So we could try to... Let's see, event on... Is it removed? Put a print, says removed. So yeah, removed is printed. So it seems like hold is granted and removed at the same time. Maybe it's related to the... Because I don't think I compiled the change. But maybe there's this like hanging pointer. Or this transition. Maybe I can do this. Here as well. If I don't really have melee ref as anything. Do I? So it's in my instance data. So there's the exit state, enter state, and this thing, trigger transition. So maybe it's okay for it to be on. Let's see. And then we'll probably call it a night. Let's see if this even compiles, and then we'll deal with the outcome of it. Because yeah, this is where it's going to be probably very tricky for me to debug, because I'm not very good with the debugging state tree stuff. Yeah, I think once I figure out what this bug is, I think we'll be at a good state. And then, yeah, we just gotta figure out what we want to accomplish with melee combat. Because, yeah, we want to have like a light combo, we want to have a heavy combo, we want to have a heavy hold, probably. And then we want to... I don't know if we want to do block and parry. Makes sense, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just getting too much into like a certain style. And then we can go back into the different abilities that we have, and I also need to start working on AI stuff. And possibly for AI stuff, again, we'll be maybe using state tree, because I don't really know behavior trees too well. I'll try to record some progress on my project to show on Discord too. Hell yeah. Definitely share. The more the merrier. So let's see if I made things better or worse or the same. My money's on worse or the same. Yeah, making stuff procedural and all those generation stuff that you're doing, man, is so cool. I'm super jealous. I can't code like that at all. I'm a very basic bitch in that regard. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so I broke things. So now we got this guy doing this now. So is it because we're doing it on transition? Let's just make sure we didn't make things worse. I don't want to leave it on a worse state. Okay, let's see. Alright, we're back. Yeah, for some reason the trails stay on. Sometimes. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah, so for whatever reason, we get to this point, we try to grant this thing. And when we grant it, it gets removed. So, like, we're entering this state. I wonder if I can say... Can I just make it a null pointer? I don't know if that's going to be correct either. You can always ask the AI here. How to destroy object. So there's literally just destroy. Begin destroy. But yeah, it's not an actor, it's an object. I feel like this is gonna cause problems. Trail doesn't destroy itself like half the time. That's also kind of annoying. Yeah. Is it possibly because we're not, blocking the input? So, let's say, do I have an add gameplay tag? Just for the sake of testing stuff. Can I say... I see status block ability? No. Yeah, that doesn't work. Not sure. This is where I'm sad. I don't know really what I should do to try to debug this. Let me disable all the instances where I'm clearing it. I just want to see if that's causing any problems. It probably will. So we definitely want to end the abilities and stuff. Man, so we're getting to the point where, basically when it tries to transition into the other state, it just removes it. Is there anything about the context that I can get? There's get recorded request transition, trigger transitions, force transition. Get recorded transitions. T-array, this. Next active frames, handle, priority, source tree. So select it as a result of the transitions. I don't know if this AI tool can help me with this either. So ability is immediately removed when task is entered. So on entered state, you grant and activate the ability, but in exit state, you immediately clear the ability with this. Here's how to fix it. First, modify exit to remove the duplicate cleanup. The ability cleanup is already handled in the instance data. Okay. So firstly, so modify the F. So this exit state thing. So that's redundant. Okay. Make sure on exit state is only called when you actually want to clean up the ability. Okay. You might also want to add proper cleanup in the destructor of your instance data class to prevent memory leaks. Okay. That's not really a thing. Are you able to create a deconstructor? I guess we can find out if this does anything. And I think this will be our last attempt for the evening. Now my headphones are getting painful to wear, so we know it's time to almost wrap up. Okay, syntax error. I'm in my syntax era. Oh yeah, this isn't necessary anymore. Probably gonna yell at me. Yeah. That third time's the charm. Very chill music. I agree. I'm listening to Funky Combat Ready playlist from YouTube. Alright, so we were able to compile. Yeah, I always try to find, some funky playlist to have in the background. Yeah, I don't know if we need to mark it as garbage anymore here. I'm gonna just delete that. And I guess I also need to do a check to see if the melee ability spec handle is valid. Okay. So we immediately need to do a hot reload. Let's find our state tree, so SD player, combo base. Do a quick live code reload here. Hey Rakeman Hiker, how you doing? Thanks for popping in from YouTube. We're just about wrapping up for tonight, unfortunately. I did 2 hours of game dev at home and a good 8 hours of game dev at work, so I call that a successful day of doing a bunch of stuff. So let's see if our logic is still crap. Let's see. Okay, it still plays and we're able to go like that. Go like that. And no. Yeah, still breaks. I do wonder if I make it a one-shot. Yeah, one shot doesn't give me a released kind of thing. And yeah, it still kind of breaks. Now, I wonder if this needs to be down. Yeah, it works okay. I'm just curious why it kind of works okay. I'm curious if this will work. Yeah, maybe? No, that's still problematic. Now, I wonder if it's... I know I said I'd end the stream, but you know me. I lie. So let me see if those are problematic for me. No. I am curious. I'm going to let me get rid of this idle. I'm gonna disable these for now. I just want to see if this causes any problems. Yeah, so now it's not even getting into that transition. So let me put it back on hold. Not one shot, 0.2. And yeah, it never seems to. So if I say state failed, for example, can I get back to root? Yeah, so for whatever reason, like it's not getting here. No, we're just never entering that state, and I think it's because, well, we have it. We have the transition from idle to here. If I make it an idle, I don't think that'll make a difference. Okay, it does. Why? Is it because these states exist? Okay. Okay, so that's fine. Now if I try to reproduce, yeah, it still breaks. Yeah, the music stopped. Let's put something on. Now, so yeah, let's give ourselves 10 more minutes. So there's this clear ability, right? Now let's assume this is what's getting called. So I'm gonna do this and that. And we hit the breakpoint. Now on so we're calling this. This is where it gets cleaned up, right? Now the melee spec handle. Is there any information about which ability this is? So this is GA melee base, right? Then we notify end ability. This handle 170. So now this is 171. And it says internal try activate ability. So this fails. So we're getting somewhere. So there should be output text potentially for ability log. So try Eternal Called. Maybe. No. Maybe I don't want to retrigger instant stability. I should not do that. I don't think that worked. Yeah, so for whatever reason, we are getting here. And then getting here when it breaks. And it's saying gameplay event data is null. So maybe the damage setup when no target is hit. I don't think it has anything to do with that, if I'm gonna be honest. Let's put the same breakpoint here for just the basic attack. Because we get here. So essentially this fails, right? So for some reason, let's step through this. So we go here, we go here, we go here, here, here. So we're stepping through, and we eventually get to the point where we're going to be activating it. And we return true, right? It's a fat ass function. So I don't know where in here it will possibly fail. So we can go here, here, here. Pretty much anywhere where it could return false. So let's see if we get there. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Hey, Powerific, how you doing? Right. Yeah, so it break points here. And here. Um. Let me just get rid of my breakpoints because that was all a bunch of crap. Okay, now it's breakpointing a bunch. Okay, try again. Okay. So okay, so it got here. So why did that play? Because it's trying to play GA equipment ability example. Maybe that's for some reason interrupting it, which I don't understand. So let's say GA equipment example, reference viewer. Let's go here. Let's find this tag. Native actions. So it's using native ability 1. So, and then it uses IA ability 1. And this, let's see. Oh, yeah, for some reason, I guess because it uses a corded action. So let me, for the sake of looking, what's the corded action? It's left trigger axis. So yeah, for some reason, it's trying to activate. But yeah, there's also the visual logger we can look at. Hopefully that will work. So is it tools, debug, visual logger? Let's dock you here. Start. We can say that and then that. Stop. Let us disable all but this. Stamina, current stamina. So yeah, it seems like it's, so for some reason GA equipment ability example 01 is being activated. It removes the ability. So GA could not activate due to blocking tags or missing required tags. Now, is the problem because of this? No. Maybe it's in the tag relationship mapping for the player. At least we're getting somewhere with the debugging, right? So, could not be activated due to blocking tags or missing required tags. Now, what are the tags? That's the question. Well, let's see where this is found in here. So could not be. So it's not even in here. So we get here. Of course, it's fine. Can I put it here? Again, it's this equipment ability. Now, I think it's because, you know, right trigger is also doing this. I gotta fix that thing where they stay white. So I wonder, I feel like I don't understand why it's being removed. It seems like it's an issue. So let me try to type my gamepad. So that's the ability coordinated one, and then yeah, this is the ranged one here. Let me nuke the ranged one for a second. Because yeah, the ranged attack here is this one. Because now, like, yeah, I can't use that spell, right? I see my released stuff stopped working. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure. I gotta just debug this at some other point. I gotta call it a day soon. Okay, and then we just gotta send the... Okay. Idle. Am I doing the wrong idle? No. So basically, I need to... So let's see. But yeah, I gotta go to bed soon. Get the debugger out. Yeah, so it never goes to released. Is it because of this one? I doubt it, but let's see. And it just never goes to released. Do we get this event? No. I like how I managed to break it worse. Now, is it because this is not controlled pawn? Maybe? Yes, my bad. Okay. So we weren't sending it to a valid actor, so that's why that part broke. Now, we still run into the bug. So let's see. I gotta record. So this is where we're doing melee 1. And then, yeah, we do... So GA, melee hold C, could not be activated due to blocking tags or missing required tags. So we're giving the ability, and then we're removing it for some reason. At least we know where to kind of look for next time. Quaff Studio, can you check out my game? There's a very short trailer and gameplay video on my channel. I'll check it out on my own time. I'm not gonna stream that stuff. We're just gonna stay focused on this project and working with Unreal. But yeah, best of luck with the project and everything. So let me give myself a to-do. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. That debugger should tell you which tag it is. Yeah, I agree. That'd be really nice. So maybe we can add that ourselves, because it's under verbose. So that's weird that it doesn't give me that information if it's labeled under verbose. Not very cash money. I mean, the ability system debug next category. Oh. Whoops. Ability system debugger. Whoops. So I don't have numpad on my keyboard. So I don't know how I'm supposed to press 3 on the numpad when I don't have a numpad. Because when I press 3, you know, I activate that ability. I'm sure there's some settings and stuff. First open to console, then next category. It doesn't show anything though when I do that. When I do debug next category, nothing. I need to enable it in the gameplay debugger. Okay, show debug ability system. All right, cool. Thank you. Next category. It doesn't really show me anything. So it's like a couple categories in. Doesn't give me anything useful because it's still talking about GA equipment ability example. And yeah, if it does show it, it goes by way too quickly. Also, the trails look kind of wonky. So we're gonna have to kind of debug this a little deeper next time, because yeah, these debugs don't really help me too much. I also wonder why the trails come out bad on other abilities. I don't know why he's spinning around like that either. Yeah, maybe the update warp target stuff is broken. I wonder, does it only break when I'm in slow-mo? Yeah, it breaks when I'm in slow-mo. Wonder if that'll fix it. Again, I'm getting sidetracked again. I wonder if I'm also spawning multiple trails or something. Wonder if that causes problems. Yes. We need some better logs on which tag failed, definitely. Yeah, and you know, we'll make sure to do that. So I wonder if we don't have a target, do we? Yeah, we do need to update it. So maybe we don't have to do the location. This one we don't have to do rotation, maybe. Yeah, so these are still kind of broken. Yeah, it seems ass backwards at the moment. And maybe a function in the ASC. Yeah, probably. like that, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong. There a way to add or update warp target from transform? I just want to see if doing it this way makes any sort of difference for the rotation. So it seems fine, and then I slow it down. Yeah, it still breaks. I think because of that like wonky rotation that's happening. It just kind of shits its pants. So I need to fix that as well. So I'm just simply passing in my forward vector. Like if I were to just change this to that, what happens? Seems fine, and then I slow it down. Yeah, still. Still breaks. I'll have to do some research. Yeah, if I do warp target thing, target rotation offset, I don't think that does anything useful for me. No. That looks funny. Yeah. I wonder if, for example, skew warp, we just, have a clamped rate of like 180. So I go like that, then I go like that. Maybe the clamp rate is gonna do things for me. So let's see if that affects anything. So I'm here, I go like that, we're there, cool. Slow things down. Yeah, we're just getting generally weird results though on the melee swings. And I wonder if it's because of like, is the sword doing anything strange? Or is it just moving so fast or something? I followed the tutorial to do this trail, and I wonder, should I just do spawn per frame instead of unit? Will I get anything better or worse? Okay. Looks better. So that's good. And yeah, we'll do a clamping here as well. Looks smooth. Yeah, thank you. I hope so. But yeah, I need to figure out what's going on with this rotation rate stuff. So we got a basic combo. Like a lot better, but yeah, I want to see what this clamped rate is. Because yeah, we're getting results where I'm not ending up facing where I want to be facing. So I'll need to do a little bit of research on that. So that's probably what we'll do next time. It's already 9:15. I did too much work today. I need to relax. I know my streaming lights are all fucked up. I've been sitting in the dark. So yeah, we solved some problems. I'm gonna do some research about the motion warping stuff while I lay in bed. How long ago did you started your journey with Unreal Engine? I've been working with Unreal since 2011. So in the UDK days. So I went from UDK to UE4 to now UE5. And you know, always learning. So we'll get there. So yeah, we gotta figure out why that breaks at that point. Because maybe that's an ordering issue. But yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what tags are being blocked. So that's what we'll try to do next time. So thanks y'all for watching. If you aren't already, make sure to follow me here on Twitch. We'll try to stream a couple days this week, but usually we stream every once in a while. It's not a very good schedule, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to join our Discord as well. You can share your stuff. I hope you have a good night. Thanks for that follow, Kaskan. Since there's a few of us here, let's go ahead and raid. We'll do first Crimson like we usually do since he's on. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon.